Hello, happy Friday. Really excited to talk to you guys today about how to know when you're done shopping. So for those of you who caught the earlier live recording, I did have some technology problems. Technology was not my friend today, so I decided to record a clean copy and really just bring home some of the points I wanted to share about how to set a finish line for your own wardrobe, how to know when you're actually done with your own wardrobe for the time being. So we know in the same way that unfortunately every day we need to make another dinner, right? Every day we need to create another outfit. And every stage of life is going to require a different wardrobe. It's going to require maybe different sizes, maybe it's a different lifestyle, maybe it's a different personal style, but whatever changes, life changes, and our wardrobe is not a static thing. Trends aside, our wardrobe is not a static thing. Unfortunately, where we create it, we put it in a nice box, we lock the box, and we move on with our lives. That's not the way that it works. Sadly, it's not the way that it works for any of us. So I wanted to talk about giving you some guidelines about creating the right wardrobe for your life, the right size wardrobe for your life, and also the right type of wardrobe for your life. Like, what does that look like for your life the way it is right now? Because we can look at wardrobes seasonally, and it gives us an easier kind of framework to figure out what we actually need in our closets. Now, one of the problems that a lot of women experience is that their wardrobe does not reflect their current lifestyle. They've either shopped for a different lifestyle, like maybe a fantasy lifestyle, maybe a dream lifestyle, or their lifestyle has transitioned and their wardrobe did not adjust accordingly. So they've got, maybe a bunch of professional clothes in their wardrobe, and their lifestyle is now work from home or retired or super casual. And so they go into the closet every day, and their closet doesn't reflect their life right now. The closet doesn't reflect your lifestyle right now. Maybe it doesn't reflect your personal style. Maybe it doesn't reflect your current size. So that's where a lot of women are finding that they're being challenged in their wardrobes, that the wardrobe that they have doesn't represent where they're currently at. So if you're in a position where you've gone through a transition, or you're in a position where you have a lot more clothes than you're wearing, like you're overwhelmed by the quantity of clothes, recognize that you're not alone and you're just in a transitional period, and we're gonna talk you through how it looks to get that wardrobe that's going to work for your current life. Okay, so according to a recent study published in Vogue, in order to have a neutral carbon footprint, you should only be buying 5 items a year. How many of you buy 5 items a month? How many of you buy 5 items a week? Like, 5 items a year is a very, very low, and I don't really think an achievable number for a lot of women. Now, if you're a minimalist, you might be like, who needs 5 items a year? But for many of us, that's a very low number. So how do we reconcile only needing 5 or buying 5 items a year and having 175 items in our closets, right? Like, where is that middle ground? Where is that sweet spot where we're going to get a wardrobe that truly functions well for us, without a lot of clutter that causes headache and causes stress, or without so few options that we have nothing to wear, like truly have nothing to wear? Okay, so the same study, it was published in Vogue, said that a sufficient wardrobe consists of 74 items or 20 total outfits. 74 items or 20 total outfits. Now, the way that they broke this down, as a sample, 6 work outfits, 3 home outfits, 3 sports outfits, 2 festive outfits, and 4 outdoor outfits like coats and outerwear, etc. So, this is a rule of thumb, a framework. What is interesting to me is that this sufficient wardrobe, which is designed to take you through a whole year, not a season, is twice as much as the number that's typically quoted in capsule wardrobes. So usually a capsule wardrobe is like 35, 37, 40 items. I have always said that number is too small to be a realistic wardrobe goal for most women. Do I have clients that are functioning and living their best lives and having their best style with 40 item wardrobes? Absolutely. But they are the vast minority. Most women want more variety and find that 40 items is just not enough to fully express their personal style. That's a personal decision, but I think that it's interesting that when they did the research on these numbers, they really see that 74 items, 20 total outfits, that's a sweet spot for a lot of women. Okay, so in the 1940s, that capsule wardrobe, you know, a lot of the capsule wardrobes are French inspired. In the 1940s, the typical French woman's wardrobe in the 1940s would have been about 40 items. That is like a capsule wardrobe today, but that was the typical wardrobe. Even as recently as 2010, we were buying a lot less than we're buying now. So the rate of consumption has gone up dramatically. But my goal is always to help you build a beautiful wardrobe. And that's going to involve being really selective about what you're bringing into your wardrobe, because the goal is not to clutter up your wardrobe now so that you have to declutter later. The goal is to build a wardrobe and to spend your money in a way that you're going to get the most out of what you're buying. So how many items do you really need? Like, what is that magic number? Well, it depends, but there is a framework. There's a process that you can work through that can help you determine what the best number is for you. So let's look at a 2-week period in your life. If you look at your calendar for the last 2 weeks. So now this is Friday, May 5th as I film this, but you look at your calendar for the last 2 weeks and I want you to look at what you've actually done. Not what you wished you had done, not what your dream 2-week period of life would look like, but how did you actually spend your time in that 2-week period? And you know my guidance, I did a video on dress codes for your actual life, but what I want to encourage you to do is to assign your days a dress code. I just did a travel lookbook for a friend and client who's going to Italy for a couple of weeks, and what we did was we assigned a dress code for the different occasions in her life, so on that trip. So for example, there was an athletic dress code one day and then a formal dress code that night for dinner. So assign dress codes. Is it a work dress code for you? Is it business casual dress code for you? Is it, and these names only need to mean something for you. Is your errand running day, are you smart casual on your errand running days, or are you casual? On your at home days, are you loungewear casual, or are you smart casual? Like you get to pick how you want to show up in those different events in your life and assign those different days and different areas of your life a dress code. So dress code for work, dress code for home, dress code for church, dress code for evenings or fun outings. And then you want to count how many times over that 2-week period you did those different activities. How many times did you go to work in that 2-week period? So we're going to do some math together. So how many times in a 2-week period do you go to work? Do you go to church? How many times do you stay at home and like have an at-home day? How many times in a 2-week period are you running errands? How many times do you go out on a date or go out with girlfriends? Like how many times in the 2-week period do those activities happen for you? So you take that number, say you went to work 4 times in 2 weeks. You actually went into the office or whatever your work situation looks like, but you did that 4 times in 2 weeks. You're going to take that number and you're going to multiply it by 2. So 4 times 2 equals 8. 4 times 2 equals 8. So if you go, for example, you go out on a date 4 times in the 2-week period, 4 times 2 equals 8. That means that you need 8 outfits for that activity per season. Now, seasons depend on where you're from. Now, if you're in a 4-season place, then you're going to need 8 outfits for spring. If you're in a 2-season place like I am in Florida, where I would need 8 outfits for warm weather and 8 outfits for cool weather based on that predictor, that calculator. So take that number of times that you're doing an activity in a 2-week period and you multiply that by 2 and you get roughly the number of outfits you need for that activity per season. So again, you can break your seasons down by 4 seasons or you can break them down by 2 seasons. If you break them down by 2 seasons, you might want to even double that number. So for example, if you're looking at those work outfits extending over 6 months instead of 3, then maybe you're like, okay, I don't want just 8 work outfits, I want 16 work outfits. So that number is going to be up to you, but this gives you a number, a ceiling to reach for. One of the things that that can trip us up is that there's not really a limit, short of course space and budget are limits, but otherwise there's not really a limit on how many clothes we can acquire, right? And so we don't really know when we're done. We don't know when we're done. How do we know when we have enough? We know when we have enough when we look at our lifestyle and we say, how many times can I conceivably wear my professional clothes in a season? Well, I've only got 16 times that I'm going to wear professional clothes this season, and I've got 94 professional outfits. Then you can see that the math doesn't work, right? That's how you quantify what you have in your wardrobe and whether it works for your lifestyle. Okay, so this only works if you're honest about how you spend your time. If you think you're a clubber, like you're going to nightclubs, or you think you're dressing up all the time when you're really hanging out on the couch, your wardrobe is not going to reflect your lifestyle. This is a common problem, is when your wardrobe does not reflect your lifestyle. I ran into I did a client's closet a few weeks ago, and every time I see her, she is in athleisure, she's in workout clothes, she's in leggings. But when you go into her closet, she's got Karen Millen, Ted Baker, like just beautiful, polished, not even professional, but like a step up from professional, like almost cocktail dresses in her closet. And she's always in workout clothes. Our closet needs to represent our actual lifestyle. So if your lifestyle happens to be really casual right now, one of the tips that I shared earlier is look at what your normal uniform is for whatever activity you're looking at, and discuss or consider to yourself how you can level that up. For example, one of the women in my Ageless Style program said that she watches her grandkids a few times a week, and she's usually in a baggy t-shirt and leggings. And I said, okay, well, how can you up-level that baggy t-shirt and leggings outfit? Instead of your worn out, pilled, and old leggings and an old t-shirt of your husband's, maybe you put on a really pretty t-shirt, and your best leggings, or a pair of joggers, and maybe you throw on a cute little jacket over it, or maybe you don't. Maybe that upgrade for you is just, I'm wearing joggers instead of leggings, and I'm wearing a nice t-shirt instead of my old ratty t-shirt, right? So wearing our clothes for what we're actually doing in our life is one of the secrets. If you start wearing the clothes that you have and stop saving some of your favorite pieces for best, I can't tell you how many closet edits I've done where all the best items, the favorite items, we purged with the tags still on them, because my clients were waiting for that magical, mythical time in the future when they would have the lifestyle or the occasion to wear those items. And sadly, those items never got worn. Wear your clothes. What's the worst that can happen? That you wear them out? Isn't that better than never wearing them to begin with, right? So, okay, the best way to know what you really need is to look at what you're currently wearing. So looking at that 2-week period, what have you been wearing? What have you been wearing? What does your lifestyle call for? And then you can really be realistic about the types of outfits that you need to be creating with your current wardrobe. Nothing can take the place of that daily outfit picture. I seriously am going to put it in the fine print and make everybody sign a contract before they enter my VIP group or before they enter one of my programs. Take a daily picture. It's May 5th today. If you take a daily picture all the way until June 5th, you will know more about your style than you will learn in any other way. Like, it is a game changer. You'll know the colors, the silhouettes, the shapes, the fabrics, everything that flatter you the most, and you're going to know what you're actually doing with your time. You're going to see how you spent your time in that month, and how many times you dressed down, how many times you dressed medium, how many times you dressed up, how many times you dressed for work, how many times you dressed for church, how many times you went on a date. You'll be able to see all of that laid out in that month-long period and really get clarity on what your current lifestyle is and how to dress for it. Okay, now it's your turn. How often do you dress up in a 2-week period? And how many dressy items do you have? If you dressed up twice and you've got 950 dressy items, then we know there's a disconnect, right? How many times did you go to work in a 2-week period? And how many work outfits do you have? How many times, I tend to overbuy church dresses, but I go to church and wear a dress to church once a week. So if I have 74 church dresses, I'm just throwing that number out there, I have no idea how many I have, but if I'm doing that, then I have way more church dresses than I have opportunities to go to church in a year, right? So look at the numbers and then look at your actual wardrobe and see where there's a disconnect. Okay, so let's look at, we're going to take it from 3 perspectives: the minimalist, the middle of the road person, and then the maximalist. Now, if you're like, two outfits, two times the number of outfits that I need is not nearly enough to get me through a season. Stay tuned. So, okay, for example, you go to work 6 times in a 2-week period. As a minimalist, don't multiply. You only need 6 outfits for work per season as a minimalist. So for spring, you only need 6 outfits for work if you're a minimalist, because if you're only going, 6 times in 2 weeks, you're going to do laundry and you're just going to rewear those pieces. And if you're comfortable with that and you're a minimalist, that's a great rule of thumb. Now, what if you want a little bit more than that? What if you're like, that's a little bit too much? Then you're going to do the multiplying by 2 calculator that I shared with you. So 6 times 2 is 12. You'll need 12 outfits for work for the season. 12 outfits for work will take you through the season, where you have less repetition, if that's what you want, and more variety, more diversity in what you're wearing to work. So if you're kind of a middle of the road person, multiply that number by 2. Now, if you're a maximalist, multiply that number by 3 to 4. Especially for those of us in 2-season climates, like if you're looking at warm weather versus cool weather, and warm weather is 9 months and cool weather is 3 months, then you're definitely going to want to multiply maybe by 3 or 4, and especially if you like a lot of variety. So if you do that, you would be looking at 18 to 24 work outfits per season. So just a framework to give you. Are you a maximalist in this? Are you a minimalist? Or are you somewhere in the middle? Do you need to limit yourself to X number of outfits per activity? Of course not. But it does help to have a ceiling, to have a goal, to have a limit, that you're trying to reach, a goal that you're trying to reach. Okay, I would really like a nice variety of work outfits. That means I'm going to shoot for 18 work outfits for the season. That's going to give me a nice variety. Then you can put together the outfits and you can see, do I have 18? Do I have 80? Or do I have 8? Like, where do you fall on that spectrum? It can really help you to goal set for your own wardrobe. And again, align your wardrobe with your lifestyle. Okay, I wanted to share really quickly. I'm about to start enrolling again in my Angel Style program. If you are looking for support, first of all, the Netta Manley Style VIP is always free and always fabulous. It's my private Facebook group. It's the fastest growing over 40 style community on Facebook, and really proud of it. An amazing supportive community, a great place to share your outfits, to get feedback, and it's a place where you can get honest but kind feedback on anything that you share. Love that community, and very, very excited about the May outfit challenge we're doing in that community. We're taking pictures of our outfits every single day and sharing them in Netta Manley Style VIP, and giving each other feedback, encouraging each other to show up in our best way every single day in the month of May. Okay, but if you're looking for a next level of support, if you want help flattering your body, if you feel like you've gone through a major wardrobe transition, you need help with that. If you need help building a wardrobe, choosing a color palette, looking at your lifestyle. And if you want regular support, we do 2 Zoom calls every single week, and we have a small private Facebook group where I give you feedback on everything that you share in that Facebook group. And if that's something that you're looking for and you want that kind of encouragement and support, I would love to have you join us in the Angel Style program. You just go to styleconfidenceclub.com and you can sign up there. And it's one of those programs that's completely self-paced. So you hop in and hop out when you're ready, and it really allows you to have that flexibility, because life happens. If you are out of you travel or life events happen and you're out for 2 months, that's fine. When you're ready, you hop back in, because we know that that's just kind of the way that life is. And so you've got lifetime access to the materials. You go through it at your own pace. I've had women have to they buy it and then they have to shelve it immediately because they got a promotion or something else happen in life, and then they go back to it when they're ready. I always say it's like the best kind of friendship, where we're always happy to see you, but we never make you feel guilty if you don't come around. So that is the Angel Style program. Again, you would have access to that for the lifetime of the program, and I would love to encourage you and to support you in that program. So that is it in terms of the content that I prepared for today, but I want to know where you fall. Are you a minimalist? Are you a maximalist? Are you somewhere in the middle? And I want to know what you think of using a calculator or a number like this to set a goal for your wardrobe. What does that look like for you? I'm excited to see how to support you further in this. And if you want to see more videos on building a wardrobe, what you actually need, and when it's okay to say, I'm done shopping. For some of us, that may never come. When is it okay for you to say you're done? You've achieved the wardrobe that you wanted to achieve for now, and you're ready to stop shopping. Love to hear from you guys, so let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this process, and I will see you in the next video. Tuesday and Friday next week's videos are going to be regular recorded videos. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.